Oh, my bad. We live. So, welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Let me get these banners up. Um, I also gotta get the phone line up. But I'm gonna go into the intro. but I don't know what's wrong with me. But blame it on Christmas. blame it on Christmas. Hope everybody had a good holiday. But let's turn to welcome back to Boxing Fans Talk TV. This is the segment where I talk about finding the health in you. And today's show, we're going to talk about, some questions that a lot of people have been sending me and asking me. I got some videos I want to show too. I want to give some people a chance to get in here. But today I didn't play my video on Facebook because whenever I try to do a tutorial video, Facebook get their panties in the wise. So I really don't know what that's all about. But so we just gonna go ahead and roll with the with the videos and stuff that I have, or without Facebook getting involved. I just excluded them. So for all of you who probably have to come back and look for me, I keep telling y'all anyway, go through YouTube and click the live icon and watch the show. So we have a couple of questions, and that's all we're going to do. But first, we're going to do the water check. I don't have no bottle of water in front of me. Since midnight last night, as y'all know, after midnight is when the day starts. Every day starts. So since midnight last night, I probably had about, I don't know, 5 or 4 waters. I have to go back and check my trash can. Cause I might as well recycle because that thing is just filled with bottles of water. But I had probably about 5 or 4. Even if I lowball and just say 4, that's pretty good for this time of day. It's 1 o'clock in the evening. We're not gonna be here. We're not gonna stay long because we're getting close to the Super Bowl. I don't want to interrupt the Super Bowl or basketball. I think Sundays is football day, so I want to be fair to that. Shit, football is the shiznicks, right? It's an American pastime, I believe. I know they say baseball is, but I believe football is. So I don't want to interrupt people's, football time or whatever. So I'm gonna go through these questions real quick. Wink. So I just feel like thinking about finding the health in you. Basically, that was a question. Like, what do you mean by finding health in you? So finding the health in you is finding what's good for you, what's advantageous for you to carry on your life. So you might can't do what everybody else do. Of course, I'm the black sheep in my immediate family. I'm the oddball out. My sisters and brothers probably can do eat and do things I can't do. I just can't. Not from lack of trying, not from lack of ability to actually do some things. It's just when it comes to our bodies in the inside, mine just doesn't work the same as theirs. And at first, you don't know these things. You don't know because nobody's telling you. And if you think about how doctors and hospitals have morphed over the years, Even if you go back way before I was born, you went to the doctor, you say, Doc, I'm experiencing this, I'm experiencing that. The doc don't say, oh, let me fix this, let me fix that. Like if you say, Doc, I'm experiencing bubble guts every time I'm eating. Now I know that's probably would be explained a lot differently. I know my kids when they was young, like my daughter, she would say, Mom, my belly's angry. She threw me for that one. I was like, your belly's angry? Oh, she meant she had the bubble guts. So, like I said, back in the day, long before I was born, if you went to the doctor and you said, hey, I got bubble guts, he would say to himself or she, let me not be sexist, the doctor would say, well, what's making this patient have the bubble guts? Let's get to the bottom of why you have the bubble guts. They're not going to look at it and say, oh, she got the bubble guts. Let me give her some gas X, or let me fix the bubble guts, because you're just putting a Band-Aid over it. It's not, like y'all know you put a Band-Aid on to protect against, possible infections or bacteria getting to it. But if you really want to get into the healing process, you got to pull that Band-Aid off, right? So the doctor treating the bubble guts is not necessarily treating why you have the bubble guts. That's the preferred method. And over time, because of money's the root of everything. The greed of the schools, the greed of the pharmaceutical companies, the greed of the hospitals. Because of money, we as a society have moved away when it comes to medical in treating the whys, not the actual symptoms, the whys. Because in life in general, you're going to do XYZ and you're going to get a response of ABC. Or you can turn that differently. You can say, you're going to do ABC and you're going to get a response XYZ. That's life. And medical too. You're going to have a issue that's going to make you notice you have the issue, which is called a symptom. But the symptom is a byproduct of the actual problem. So when I talk about finding the health in you, I'm saying let's get our bodies to a point where we can start to find what ails us so that we can correct it. You can't fix nothing if you don't know what that something is. You can't fix nothing. You know what I'm saying? So how you going to know that cheese really don't like you if you never take cheese out your diet first? Because there's a thing called being conditioned. You can become conditioned to whatever, You can eat cheese even though cheese don't like you. You can be eating cheese on a regular all the time, and then all of a sudden you have a problem with cheese. And you be like, where's this problem with cheese? No, it was always there. It's just you're eating it on a regular. You had got conditioned and your body was putting up a good fight. But then eventually your body's like, I'm tired. I can't keep fighting. If I told each and every one of you to go outside your front door and stand in the street, and as far as the eye can see, run till I tell you to stop. But you got to run at top speed. And here it is, an hour later, you're still running. 2 hours later, you're still running. I'm never going to tell you to stop running. Eventually, I don't even have to tell you to stop running. You're going to stop when you can't do it no more. You're going to kind of like quit, give up, because you're not conditioned. But if you was conditioned, you could run at that top speed for like, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours, or whatever. Some people can do it. But you have to build up a conditioning for that. But even building a conditioning for it. You cannot run at top speed 24/7. You can't do it. You have to stop at some point. Hell, you got to use the bathroom. You got to stop to eat. Even if you not stop because you're tired, but we know you're gonna get tired. And I know you like, Miss T, what did you talk about? Okay, I'm saying, I'm giving you an analogy to show that you cannot, your body cannot keep fighting the same battle over and over and over again. It just can't. It gets tired, and then it wants to quit. So again, when I'm talking about finding the health in you, sometimes we can reach a point where our body is at that level. I'm tired of fighting this fight. I want to quit. Usually that's around your late 30s, early 40s, or something like that. When you're young, in your 20s, in your early 30s, I mean, you can fight everything. You can go forever. But when you start getting past 35 and up, shit change. And when your body stop fighting, that's when the damage happens. And when damage happens, you can't go back and reverse damage. So if you have a bad heart because you have high blood pressure and you never addressed the blood pressure when you was in your 20s, when you was in your 30s, now that you got the bad heart, you can't be like, oh, my bad. Let me go back and make sure I get this blood pressure down so my heart can get back right. It doesn't do that. Don't do reversals. And when you get to a point where shit is damaged, then you have no choice but to, change your whole lifestyle in a way that you're not accustomed to or don't want to be accustomed to. Mainly, I'm talking about how you eat. How you eat. So that is what I mean by finding the health in you. Find it before it finds you. Because you'll get to a point where, like I said, your body will quit. It can't take the punishment no more. It'll quit. And then you have no choice but to change your lifestyle. And when it's like that, it's not fun at all. You ain't gonna like it. You're gonna have a problem with it. So, I do a slow walk method. I call it a slow walk, or we call it a journey instead of a diet, where we eliminate a lot of stuff. We clean our system out. We detox ourselves. And then we eventually, slowly, it's worth it to find out, y'all. It's worth it to find out. So that is what finding the health in you is really all about. That's what this segment of my Boxing Fan Talk TV show is about, is finding the health in you. One of the most questions, and I probably get asked this all the time. Let me take this thing down right here. Y'all see my neck, right? You see it? Stop. Right here in the front of my neck, where everybody's front of their neck, they should have a thyroid gland, and it's right there in the front. Your vocal cords be running through it. Everybody's different. It's supposed to be technically shaped like a butterfly. It's right here in the front of your neck, right? So my hand is itching. Those are my rashes, y'all. So, right there in the front of your neck. And if you look at right here, you see, right here, that's the only scarring I have left from when I had my thyroid removed. Now, the young guy was, when it was freshly done, it was like from here to here. It went straight across. And it was a sight to see, I got to tell you. It looked like I was in some gang shit or, some rough shit or whatever, because, I mean, that's what it looked like, yo. But I don't keloid, so that's a plus for me. Yay, finally, something with my skin that I don't go through. And I heal pretty good. So you can't really see it. I see it because I know what it looks. It might escape some other people, but there it is right there. And I see it on other people. I can see it a mile away. If you got a thyroid issue, I can see it a mile away. I feel at this point in my life such an expert about it, because this is something I lived. I actually had surgery where they had to cut my stomach from C to shiny C. Same thing. It kind of looks like I healed pretty good. So I thank God for that. Because it could be worse. And it'd be right there in the front where everybody can see. But nobody can tell. Nobody can tell I have autoimmune disorders. They can't. Not looking at me, you can't tell. You can't look at my face. You can't look at nothing. You'll see my rashes. Like y'all see my hand. I lube my hand up. I got lubing stuff that's like medicated or whatever, but my skin dries out real quick. You really can't tell because I drink a lot of water. And if people say, "Oh, Miss T, you glowing," I drink a lot of. That's what water do for you. So, yeah. Let me turn on these lights. Hold on. I don't know. Is that good? Let me see. I don't even know if we need it. We ain't needed no lights. Let me see. It's still on, but I turned it down. I don't even know why I turned it on. I got a little light on. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, it's like I said, as you can see, some people could get this and have all this it'll look horrible, whatever. But I talked about the thyroid gland, the difference between the different T4s and T3. Y'all can go back and watch some of my old videos that explain some of that stuff. And I know y'all like, oh, I'm gonna answer this question as many times as it is asked, because a lot of people do not understand the thyroid gland. They think they do. They'll say something like, "Oh, metabolism." The thyroid gland does so much, and so this time around, I said, I'm not gonna just speak on it. I'm gonna actually play a video that will explain it better. You know what I'm saying? Why is this thing doing this? Hold on, y'all. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna play a video, and that's gonna explain it a lot better. And this is why I didn't go on to Facebook, because I don't need no Facebook problems. Facebook be tripping. So I don't be wanting to hear it from Facebook. But y'all go ahead and enjoy this video if I can get to it. Y'all let me know if you can hear it or can't hear it. That's the bloodstream. I don't know why this thing does this. Hold up, y'all. Sorry. I don't know why it wants to do this. Hold up. I'm gonna stop it and pause it because again, this is a tutorial video, and they put it on YouTube for you guys to learn or whatever. But like I said, I don't know who be tripping on people playing certain videos, but it's better that you can watch these little short videos. They're not long, but I'm gonna interrupt just to make sure that I'm not copywriting or infringing upon nothing. So that they, you heard what they said about the T4 and the T3. All you need to understand for your body function, for you to go on this journey or whatever journey you go on, is that T4 is how it is released from your thyroid gland. Y'all saw what the thyroid gland was in the picture that it showed. T3 is the usable. And remember, I told you, in your body, when they talk about a lot of hormones or things that has to be used, it'll be numbered like T4, T3, T2, T1. Whenever you hear 3, just think active. That's the one that's being used. And of course, this is not absolute how I'm saying it, but nobody's trying to become a doctor on here. I'm not trying to be a doctor on here. I'm giving you the gist of how your body functions in regards to helping you find the health in you. So T4 is how it's released from your thyroid, your neck area. T3, when it gets down, remember I told you the filtering stations, like the liver, it converts it from this to this. And you see this capsule? When it goes through the small intestines or other places that are acidic in your body, it stays just like that. But if this were to travel through the small intestines or something like that, it would be destroyed. So nobody told me this. I didn't read this. It was kind of alluded to. But when it's released in the T4 form, this is a protective shell. See how they just color coded it, and it's not saying that this is what it looked like, but it's giving you a visual. It's color coded. So in this color T4, it's a protective shell. It cannot be destroyed by acids in your body, but this can, because it's at the point where it's usable. So let me continue. You heard it? When it gets into circulation, meaning blood, it's got to be converted into T3, because that's the only way they can use it. They can't use it in this state. So this is kind of answering that question. Why do the thyroid need to be converted into T3? It has to get into the spot where it needs to be used or become usable. It can't do it in this state. It can't do it in the reddish orange color. And yeah, I could be colorblind these days. But it looked like orangish red color capsule. It had to look like the green one to be used. Remember? If you learn about cells, you know how important that is. Mm-hmm. This is the cells. So hold on. You kept hearing them say ATP. This is what ATP is. All it is. You don't need to know it in depth. It has a lot to do with cell reproduction, function, a whole lot of stuff. ATP is the energy source for the cells in your body. ATP is used to do every activity, everything from blinking to walking and even thinking. The body uses ATP to carry out its daily function. It's the source of energy. The cell needs to be fueled to do its job. It's just a source of energy. So when you hear him, this thing says ATP, that's what they're talking about. Mm. Remember, that's a lot of the places where the T4 is converted is through the liver, the filtering system. Mm-hmm. This is very important. And just your body being healthy and carrying on its duties. If you don't have the proper cells, this ain't gonna go on, and I don't know how you even living. This is very important. You can look up these things yourself. I did a whole show, I think it was last week, on adipose tissue, which is fat, lipolysis, and that's a state that you can put yourself into, and you can burn fat or increase fat storage. Like I said, the liver is one of the filtering systems that we convert T4 into T3. Glucose, glucose is very important. It's this type of sugar that our body run off because, make no mistake, our body runs off of sugar. So let's continue. Hmm. Let me say this. The growth and development of the body tissue is only possible by reproduction of cells. Every organ in your body, every the group of tissue in your body, this cell reproduction going on all the time, especially when you sleep. It can't do it if you don't have a complete cell. And if you're not having complete cell cycles, you have to have ingredients to have all that stuff going on. And metabolism is one of them. And where you get that from? But if, like I said, you have to go back and look at what I talk about with the liver. Like if you make the liver filter all day, then it won't metabolize at all. So how you gonna reproduce some cells in an abundance the way it need to be if you filtering all day? You get what I'm saying? You do one thing, it's a domino effect. So just learn the gist of how your body's supposed to function. So I'm gonna stop it there. So we talked about one time in one of the shows about the messaging center in the brain, and like you guys will be surprised, it really is like this. This the front, the anterior, and the anterior, and this is the back. So like little messages. Just look at these. It's like the message. It got to the hypothalamus. It sends it down here, and in these in the front, there's all kinds of how should I say, messages that can be sent for different parts, like growth hormones, or whatever organ or area that's in charge of growth. This when it comes down here and it touch one of these things, it will send a message out to your body where it's responsible for XYZ. It's a lot going on in here, and there's some for this too. And in both, I can't remember which one, but when you ready to have sex, there's messages that come through this very thing, and then sends a message out to your sexual organ and be like, get ready. Do secrete what you got to secrete. Get ready. So I'm just saying, that the message come from here. And in this part of it, it was saying basically this is telling this hypothalamus in the brain that we either got too much or we don't have enough. And when you release that T4 in your system, your body registers, hey, we got it in our system. So a message would come back to the brain. It was like, hey, we got the T4 in there. She can live. Now, as far as conversion, it's one of them things that can get missed because they assume, let's just say this whole process right here, they assume that the conversion is going to go down. But you can't really assume that until you chop it up with the liver. You gotta be like, yo, what y'all doing down there? And they don't do that. They just don't do that. They just assuming it's in your system. She good. It's in the right state, meaning it can go from the neck all the way down through the small intestines. All in to do all this traveling. It's in the right state, like covering, and it's not going to get dissolved or destroyed or anything. So when it gets to its destination, conversion is going to happen, and that don't always happen. But I did a show about that, the difference between T4, T3, and reverse T3. And it matters because a lot of you guys got a lot of reverse T3 going on for many reasons. One day I'll just talk specifically about that. A lot of you got that going on and don't even know it, and you can fix it. You can fix it real quick, and you don't even know it because nobody tells you. When you go to the doctor, they don't look into that. They don't even check that stuff. So it's one of them things. This is why you have to learn about your T4 and your T3 cells and what's the difference between them two and all that. So the T4 has to be converted to T3 in order for it to be used. I have another video on it, so stand by. So here we go. And I will pause every now and then. There we go. The usable. There we go. It came from the hypothalamus somewhere above, I don't know where. It's been a while since I had an anatomy class. And to the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is where your body gets your marching orders, if you just look at it like that. And so you have the anterior and the one that's in the back. So basically, so that's what they talk about. As again, I'll pause it. I know y'all don't probably like it, but I have to adhere to the copyrights. That's what I was saying. Your body can register how much T4 you have in your body. It just knows that message goes to the hypothalamus and then goes to them. And she basically said, if you got enough T4 in your system, they're going to suppress your thyroid gland or sending a message to your thyroid gland to release more. But if you don't have enough, it's going to do the opposite. It's going to say, hey, thyroid gland, wake up, put some more out there because you ain't got enough. That's what it said. But it gets messages back and forth and send different parts of your body marching orders. This is a whole gland. It's part of the endocrine system, and it's pretty much a whole organ. And see, that pituitary gland sends marching orders to this organ. That pituitary gland also sends marching orders to your reproductive organs. I mean, it just does it to different organs. So here we go. That was me. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of women a lot of women, to me, from my experience, suffer from this. The people who not, I ain't gonna say cross the board, but if you have hypothyroidism, you pretty much got an autoimmune disorder. We're gonna get into that. But if you have hypothyroidism and you see what they said fatigue, weight gain, like fatigue, you tired and you shouldn't be. You slept 8 hours, but you still tired. Weight gain, you're not gonna be able to control your weight. This is why T4 is important. When you have that T4 and you try to your body's supposed to convert it to T3 and it doesn't, now you into reverse T3, meaning the T3 was created, but it's like being held back. And what'll happen in that case? You're gonna gain weight. And sometimes the fix it is so easy and simple. But if you don't know that that's going on, they're not gonna fix it. And doctors do not care about T3 as much, because it's not one of them things that's gonna shorten your life. No T4 in your system, you ain't, it could shorten your life. You probably ain't living. But T3, unless you get so big as a house that you just die from obesity, I mean, that can happen. That's when they'll probably start caring. But what you got to be like 500, 400 pounds or something before they care. But your quality of life, of course, will suck. But this is weight gain right here. Cold intolerance. Yeah. So a lot of you guys have that. Slow heart rate. I don't know if I experienced that, but I mean, I guess I could say maybe this one right here. To all the people out there who have heavy, I'm not talking about the men, heavy menstrual bleeding, you probably got a symptom of hypothyroidism. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying you might want to look into that. Because come to find out, that's not normal. Anyway, but it's normal. You know what? It's going to be normal now. Because you know what people going to say? A lot of women have it. Just because a lot of women have it, that don't mean it's supposed to be like that. If you go back and look at old books back in the 50s, 60s, or whatever, when they talk about menstruation, they'll say, oh, a woman gains typically no more than 3, maybe at the most 5 pounds. That's what they gave you. At the most 5 pounds. But typically 2 or 3 pounds during your menstruation. And a lot of women will tell you that shit ain't true. But it was true at one point, but now it's not. So go back and really start checking your reverse T3, your T4, and your T3. Ask them. They will do the test. It's a simple blood test. Mm-hmm. Salt, people, salt. I'm a person, I don't put salt in anything I make, like cook or whatever. I never use salt, but I always had an iodine deficiency. These are anemic people too. Normally when you have an iodine deficiency, it's not an absolute, but it's one of them correlations you can make. Hashimoto's thyroiditis. That's kind of in this. Mm-hmm. 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 Big tumor in your neck. That's what Gorders are too. Just a big tumor in your neck. Now they don't always have to be cancerous. Mine's was. Mine's looked like it went from here. It's like a big circle, covered the whole neck, and I didn't notice it. I was young. I was 24, going out in them clubs and all that stuff. I did get. I had all the symptoms, but didn't know why. There are times when I would get my proper amount of sleep. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I'd be so tired. And then there are times when I have a normal day. It's just one of them things that hit and miss. You can't really tell by looking at a person. But if you know what you're looking for, you could. So like to the average eye, who people don't experience this or don't know nothing about it, you're not gonna be able to tell. I can because I know what it looked like and I had to live with it. So you just heard you can get a goiter whether you're at the hypothyroidism or hypo. You know, you can get it either way. But this thyroid problems is becoming an epidemic, just so you guys know. Even when I had it, it was a shock. You know, I was creating lines in the doctor's office like, you gotta come see this. This girl, you know. If y'all think I look young now, imagine when I was 24 years old, man. I looked like I was 15 years old. And they was like, oh, come here, this girl she got this goiter in her neck. This is not normal. Because at that time when I had it, the people who typically got it were women my age now. You know what I'm saying? Older women, like in their 40s or something like that. That's who typically got it. You know, those women have had their children and this, that, and other. Because having this kind of problem also interferes with you being able to procreate. And I would think that would be important to anybody listening. But and thyroid gland problems typically nowadays happen to women. I'm not saying it can't happen to a man. I'm gonna say from what I heard back in the day. One, I never met a man with a thyroid issue, as far as like the kind of the problems women be having. And two, I always heard that men didn't fare too good when they had thyroid issues. But a little nugget to throw out there, you know, anytime people around, you know, things, because mine was actually cancer. So anytime people got this mindset of what cancer is, like it's something you can catch all the time. No, cancer is a defective cell. Let me say it again. Cancer is a defective cell. It's a cell that's missing a part, a deformed, a retarded cell, a can't get right cell, a illiform cell, however you want to call it. That's all cancer is. Any one of us can catch it. In fact, they predict that by the age of 16, we all walking around with cancer cells. Well, if you know your cells reproduce every day, and if your P56 oncogene is not working properly for whatever reason, because sometimes your body just want to shut down for or take a break. But if in the cell cycle, your cell gets around to that cell cycle, and I think it's S3, I can't remember, but it's the oncogene. If it gets around to that point, and at that point, the cell cycle is supposed to recognize, or the job of that phase is supposed to recognize that this is not a complete cell. This is a retarded cell. This is an illiform cell. This is a can't get right cell. So your body will kill can't get rights. Your body is designed beautifully that way. But sometimes it just don't work. So what'll happen is your body didn't destroy the can't get right or so-called retarded cell, if I'm painting the picture. And then when it don't do that, guess what? That cell continues in the cell cycle and it wind up reproducing. So it's split. It go from 1 to 2 and 2 to 4, and you know, so forth and so on. And that's what a cancer cell is, a defective cell. So when you have these goiters in your neck from your thyroid, it could be cancerous or it could be not. But one of the when it comes to cancer things, like things you can do to affect your cells, like damage your cells yourself, like carcinogens and shit like that. The easiest place for carcinogens to affect or go to is your endocrine system or your glandular system, which is your endocrine system. For women, it'll always be your thyroid. It's the first place and preferred place. It's not an absolute, but it's the first and preferred place. For men, it's your nuts. So keep them goddamn cell phones out your front pocket or your back pocket, because you're frying your nuts. RF energy is running through them cell phones all the time. Trust me, you slowly but surely frying your nuts. You ain't got to believe me. And I know people like, Miss T, how come when people say, you know, they don't agree with you or they just, you know, you can have a debate or whatever and they disagree, and you just be like, okay, you know, because I get that question too, like, Miss T, you lost that debate or something. Like people say the weirdest things to me. And just so y'all know, It's not that I'm not trying to be an argumentative person. I can be, but I don't want to be. Anybody can be, but I don't want to be. I live under this philosophy is you can't tell everybody everything. You could try to, but people don't listen and they don't care to listen because ain't nothing happening to them. So I just look at people and be like, your ass will get it when you see it. You will get what I'm talking about when you see it. So it ain't no sense in me trying to force nobody to get anything. You know what I'm saying? They'll get it when they see it. And when they see it is when they see it. So my philosophy is, we'll see. We'll see. That's my philosophy every time. We'll see. Wink, wink. We'll see. Um, so that's why I kind of be quiet. When I say certain things and people be like, let's see, they proved you wrong. Well, I can't prove nobody wrong. I'm just one person saying something. They can't prove me wrong. They're just one person saying stuff. But I notice some people say that because this, believe it or not, that's what people email me. So it's not that no, I changed my mind or I back down from whatever I say. I just feel like some people get it more when they are afflicted with it. They just can't take nobody word for it. And I wonder, maybe I could have been like that as a youngster. I don't think so, but I, been having these medical issues in my young life. So you don't have to I'm not that person that you can't tell. And I'd be like, for real? Now, of course, do your own research. Go look it up. But everything I'm saying is not true. It's facts. But if somebody don't see it as facts, I can't make them. There's something they have to gravitate towards. And like I said, we'll see. Keep on living. I say that too a lot. Keep on living. And a lot of times I don't even say it out loud. I'll be like, keep on living. And I'm gonna tell you, between the doctor and the patient, this is where the patient has domain and has authority over the doctor. A doctor can go to school and learn about a organ. Let's say the endocrinologist. That's a doctor I will have to see for the rest of my life. They could tell me everything they want to tell me, everything they learned, everything that they know to be true, and I take their word for it. I'm listening, right? But here's the thing: what they can't tell me, they can't tell me how I feel. They can't tell me experience. This is what they can't tell me. Cause who living with it and who ain't? Who experiencing it and who ain't? Now I can sit here and tell you how I feel to be a human being on this earth with a thyroid gland. And I can tell you how it feels to be a human being on this earth with a thyroid gland that's not always working properly. And then I can tell you how it feels to be a human being on this earth without one. And a doctor who hasn't gone through what I went through can't tell me shit. In that case, I am the expert. I am the SME, subject matter expert at that point of that disorder, because I'm the one who's living it and dealing with it. The only reason the doctor knows the symptoms of having a problem in this area is because people like me told them. They didn't experience it. We experienced it and we told them. So a lot of times I will not go back and forth with people just to answer one of those emails I got. Shout out to that email. It's like, you got proven wrong. That person, I guess they don't like certain shit that I say. And it's okay. You don't have to agree with nothing I say, as I don't have to agree with what you say. But when you know better, you do better. And it's not that I back down, y'all. It's like, when I get to that point in my head where I was like, they can't see it because they didn't experience it. But they'll see. And that's what I mean. Just to explain it. And I'll probably reiterate that on my boxing show too. Because a lot of people think that I do that. I was like, nah, I'm just saying it in my head. Like, keep on living. You'll see. Yeah. hmm I had all that. So, I had all those happen to me. I had a radio iodine. I had I had what you call it, the radio iodine, the what's the killer race, that's killing it with like radiation or whatever. Because I had radiation, I didn't have chemo. It's it's complicated. I always say I had chemo, but it's administered differently than other types of cancers. You have to approach different type of cancers different type of ways, if that makes sense, to some folks. But that's the basic explanation. I decided to show you a video. I can speak on it as well. But the person asks, why do the thyroid need to be converted into T3? The real short answer is so it can be used. But sometimes I've said that in my videos, and the question is still asked. There's no dumb questions. You can keep asking as long as you want, and I will not get tired. I'm not one of the people that's gonna get tired and be like, "Damn, why they keep asking me that?" But it's so it can be used. If some people rather take that answer, some people rather hear a more in depth of what it is, and that's why I played the video so y'all can see. I'm saying pretty much the same thing that video said, and I didn't make that video. I mean, it's a fact. I know this. Not only because I read about it, I took anatomy classes. I could talk about my formal education, and I can talk about experience because I personally lived this. I was young. I had a degrade going on in my thyroid gland. I caught a goiter where my neck was big as hell. I went through every test that's known to see if it was cancer because that's all they wanted to know. I don't know, maybe they would have did something different if it wasn't cancer. But all my tests came back saying could be not. They kept saying she got follicular cells, but follicular cells could be good or not. And I did a whole lot of tests overseas and in the States. And so then, they decided to just take it out. They didn't ever sit me down and explain what it's going to do, how it's going to affect my quality of life and this and the other. They just took it out. So that's where I'm at with it. I know all that crap because I lived it. I'm on the other side. I lived it, and I lived it in a way where they wasn't telling me everything about it. Oh yeah, y'all, I got my Santa, my little pajamas that me and my family wear. We try to wear the same pajamas on every Christmas. Just something to do. But I was like, I woke up, I was like, shit, I woke up not that long ago, to be honest. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna wear my pajamas to the show. Okay, I try not to make the show too long. Again, football is on. Yay, football. Somebody asked me to give an example of a non-expensive vegan meal and explain again how eating vegan is I guess they meant healthier. I don't know what I wrote. Healthier or better. So, okay, look. I'm the last person to tell somebody to be a total vegan because I will never be. I can tell you that. So that's full transparency. But I will tell you, it is the best way to go. You ever heard that saying, can't teach an old dog new tricks? It's kind of true to a certain degree. It's kind of true, meaning I'm too old for to be changing completely how I eat now. You can't say that nothing is impossible. It's possible. I could change. It's physically possible. It's do I want to change? So, but what I do want to do is be healthy. And at my state of healthiness, finding the health in me has made me realize that I have no choice. So I'm doing stuff under duress. But that's a good thing, right? I'm doing it under duress. I have to do it. I don't have a choice at this point. So I have to eat better than I used to eat. Not that I ate terrible in the first place. I didn't really, as y'all started one of the videos, it said something when you have hypothyroid you don't really have an appetite. I don't know why my head itching. That is a fact. A lot of, I had guy friends be like, this bitch gotta eat. Because your weight will not reflect what you eat. And I don't eat hardly that much. I mean, I know people be like, you lying, bitch, you lying. No, I'm not. There's a lot of people out there like that. Like, you don't eat. If you one of them people that can gain weight or put on weight easily, and you're not a big eater, go get yourself checked. First thing they're gonna do is a thyroid check. They're gonna do the TSH. Remember, you heard that, as that's the name of that T4 TSH. They're gonna check that to see if everything is normal and all that, and the test gonna come back normal. But what they not gonna check unless you ask is your reverse T3. Is that normal? And it's one of those weird things, like when the T3 or the reverse T3 number is good, the TSH number is not good. And when the TSH number is good, the reverse T3 is not good. But the thing is, I think you heard in there, whereas the TSH has to have that feedback. That's how it's regulated, with that negative feedback, which all that means is, if it's hard to explain, but put in your head that negative feedback is basically your body sending messages back and forth to let them know, should we release this much or should we not? Okay, we release. Do we need to release more? It's that type. That's that feedback your body needs to let them know, okay, we need to do a little bit more. But in reverse T3 and all that down there by that filtering system, by the liver, you ain't getting that feedback. So when I hear that, you know what that tells me? That it don't matter if that's good or bad. Even if it makes the TSH look bad. Because like I said, when it's good, the TSH seems like it comes out bad. It's not smoke and mirrors. Just say smoke and mirrors, because you have an imbalance at that point and something is going on, and it really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because if you was healthy and you never had hypothyroidism or no symptoms, they will never ever really go to checking your I don't even know if they do it on a regular physical nowadays. They probably do. But back when I was younger, in my 20s, no, that didn't even come up on the physical. Let me check your TSH. So your reverse T3, that's something you will have to ask specifically about. You have to ask about that. And I'm gonna just tell you straight out the bat, normal is 10. No, under 10 is normal. 10 is the max that it should be. So normal reverse T3 number should be about 3, maybe 5. If you get 10, you're on the high side. But under 10, anything under 10, you still okay. Anything over 10, you got some problem. And let me say it correctly. You have a problem. You don't want nothing over 10. When I finally got mine's checked after 20 years of complaining, mine was at 45. Highly irregular. And when it was corrected, I was able to take a little bit of control back over my body. As long as it was doing that, I couldn't do nothing. I would just continually gain weight. Now, thanks to genetics, I never blew up to like 500. Like, there was people who had it when I had, because back then we used to have, when I was still young, we used to actually have groups that would meet up, that we all had the same problem, and we all had the same surgery, and we all got the same radiation or whatever. I don't know if you call it a support group or something, but we would meet up and we would have meetings like once a week. And I didn't talk about it much. I never did, because I was like, some people didn't seem like they had it as bad as me, and some people, had it real bad. I knew of one lady who had it really, really bad. It totally fucked her up mentally. She's not with us anymore because she was going out of her mind trying to fix something that she didn't understand. And when she didn't take her life, she didn't commit suicide. She started taking pills to regulate her weight. Um how do I say this? When you have your identity, right? And when people mess with your identity, it will make any of us go crazy because all this all we have is who we think we are, our identity. And this woman was used to being young, fit, young white lady, beautiful. She That's what she was used to. And to have to now be somebody that and them white dudes treated her, y'all can be some cruel people when it comes to, weight issues. Everybody can, but the white dudes back, especially back in the day, they would scoff at her because this lady, she her husband was white. I think she had one kid and or a couple of kids. I can't remember, but everywhere she went, it was like the devaluation of her. You got to think this woman grew up always on the side of the equation, but she was the beauty queen. She was the it girl. She was the bee's knees. And to go from that, from sugar to shit like that, like really quick, it fucked her up. So they'll tell you, in one breath, they'll say, "Oh, you the same as before. You just got to do a little more." Like what? Do a little bit more what? Do a little bit more eating correctly, eating right or healthy, but do a little bit more exercise. And you think that and you do it and it don't work. So this woman was getting the same advice, wasn't told everything. And I forgot what the pills were. They sell them in GNC. But they'll tell you if you have a condition like me, you shouldn't be taking certain things, like in GNC that most of y'all do. And truth be told, y'all slowly messing up your insides and your organ, because if your body naturally does something and you take a pill to make it do what your body naturally do, there's gonna be a degradation there. I'm gonna leave it right there because I don't want nobody coming after me suing me like you talking against our product. That should just be common sense. If you normally make melatonin, why would you take melatonin pills? Oh, I can't sleep. I have insomnia. There's a reason you have it. Find out the reason you have it. Fix that. And you will fix the insomnia. The insomnia is a byproduct or a symptom of a bigger problem. Fix the problem and you'll fix that symptom called insomnia. Don't try to fix the symptom and go get you some melatonin pills. You're going to mess yourself up. You're going to cause an imbalance. And once you cause an imbalance anywhere in the body, it's an imbalance everywhere in the body. You're going to start a domino effect. That's why you don't do those things. So, getting back to the vegan meal, I know that was a little long. So let me get back to the vegan meal. And I'm going to give you an example of a perfectly good, fulfilling vegan meal that we all can like. Because, I like soul food. I like American food. I like soul food, though. But, yeah, some things I don't eat. I don't eat bland shit. And I don't do overly spiced nothing either. So, I don't eat a lot of exotic food, or, I have a simple palate. And I'll say American food. Like, that's what I grew up on. So, anywho, you can take potatoes. Everybody likes potatoes. Potatoes is healthy for you. One potato has all the vitamins and nutrients. What I should say, vitamins and minerals in one white potato as you would get from eating a multivitamin. Potatoes are very important for your diet. And then you will hear people say potatoes are fattening. Shouldn't eat potatoes. Potatoes can put weight on you, but they're not fattening like you think. The best is the sweet potato. Anything of color is going to be the best of that group or whatever it is you're eating. But the white potato, we all know that is not expensive. You can buy one white potato and have onions. You can buy the little pack where they already got the onions, the green pepper, the red pepper, and all that cut up. Or you can buy that little series pack with 3 of them in there, because I do that all the time. That's like $1 or $2. You can pick up a green pepper that's under $1. And you can get a bag of potatoes that's like a couple of dollars. Or you can get one potato, because they sell them singular. Take the potatoes, cut them thin. Get you a potato slicer, cut them thin. Now, granted, this meal tastes better with butter or margarine, or because real butter but real butter only tastes good when you're baking. But just everyday use of butter, real butter. I use Country Crock. That's what I was using, right? Country Crock, which is not real butter. It's a molecule away from being a plastic, like literally a plastic substance or something. So you take the margarine, you put it in the pan, and you turn the pan up on high. You let that pan be high, like heated, like really heated. And those thin slices of potatoes with the skin and all, put them in the pan and just keep flipping them. Keep flipping them. And once you see that the potato itself is cooking just a little bit, then you throw in your onions and your green peppers, your red peppers, your yellow peppers, your orange peppers, but slice those peppers really, really thin. Don't put the seeds, of course you clean out the seeds and all that, but you slice some things up and you put them in the pan and you flip. Again, if you bought one potato, 9 times out of 10, everybody got an onion in their house. The only thing you probably have to buy extra is those what is it? The orange, yellow, and red. I mean, you're talking about a $5 meal that will fill you up for hours. Now, if you're not gonna cook it with butter, because once you use the butter, it's not all the way 100% vegan. The choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't tell nobody don't use the butter, because it tastes better that way. But it also tastes good using with olive oil. Olive oil is something that it's an acquired taste. You have to get used to it. When I first had experiences with olive oil is when I lived overseas, because they cook with olive oil for everything. The smell used to kill me, like, ugh. It just was foreign to me, But they cook everything in olive oil, and you be over there long enough, you eating their food, you start getting used to it. And so that's why I say, make yourself start getting used to olive oil. Remember though, olive oil burns faster in the pan than regular Wesson or vegetable oil or shortening. It just burns faster. Just keep that in mind. So don't put it on there and walk away and doing your stuff like how you do with those other oils, because it gets hotter quicker and it just get heated quicker and everything. So that's an example of a cheat meal. Anything that come out the ground, you can take a baked potato and bake it. Just don't put sour cream and all that other good stuff. Excuse me 1 second. Oh, okay. It's my daughter's boyfriend. Just don't put all that extracurricular stuff on it. Condiments and all that stuff. Matter of fact, most of you who are slow walking, y'all not doing condiments. Y'all not doing a whole lot of things. So let me mosey on. Somebody asked, what illness are helped by eating this way? Everything. Everything is helped by eating this way. The people who have autoimmune disorders, you will always have them. Let me just be honest. You will always have them, but you don't always have to have an affliction. You can control your autoimmune disorder by what you eat, simply by what you eat. So, I mean, for people who got cancer, remember I told you cancer, what cancer was is the defective cell. But that defective cell got to eat too. You have tumors. When you got fibroid tumors, to the ladies who got fibroid tumors, they are benign, right? They still eat. They have their own blood source and they eat. That goiter I had in my neck was eating. All of that shit eats, right? And it prefers the food that you like, the sugary foods and this, that, and the other. Some people like, okay, well, T, you will say that the preservatives are bad, or the sugar, the sugar that we can't digest. Excuse me. Sitting by my window as usual. We can't digest this, or we can't digest that type of sugar. Well, one can make an argument and say the grocery stores, the way it's set up, our social environment, the grocery store makes sense. In order for you to put the food on the shelves, they have to have a shelf life. Otherwise, they come from the factory, get in the truck, and by the time before they can even get to the store, they already spoiled. So things have to have a shelf life. So things are packaged and put together in order to accomplish that goal. And so, yes, in one breath, one can make that argument that preservatives are necessary. Others can make the argument that if they don't like you, it is not necessary. Preservatives have sugars in them, sugars that you can't digest. Did a whole show about previously about what it is when you eat and what the food turns into. So it doesn't matter if that's good for grocery business, to be able to stock the food on the shelf and for it to have a little shelf life and time for people to come and buy it. If you recognize by finding the health in you that your body don't like preservatives, you have to stop eating it. You just got to. This is why you have the illnesses and afflictions that you do have. Because you're eating something that your body clearly telling you they don't like. So you got to stop eating. I know some of y'all say, well, Miss T, you glowing. Your face, your skin, or whatever. I drink a lot of water. Water does that to you. Just throw it out there. And what I drink water that's the first thing I do when I get up. Water. 8 ounces. 8 ounces. I make sure I get through 8 ounces. Before I close my eyes at night, I am drinking water. Your body does a lot when it's asleep. It rejuvenates, it recharges, it burns the most calories, all kinds of shit. It's replenishing cells, it's reproducing cells, it's getting ready for the next day. Give it some water to help it along the journey before you close your eyes. Plus, it's good for your heart when you lay down to drink a glass of water. A glass is just 8 ounces of water. When you get up in the morning, you want to charge your engine. If you look at your body like an engine, you want to charge it. So you down 8 ounces of water. That's the lube, that's the gas, that's whatever you want to call it, that your body needs to do its job. It's waking up, I know for myself, I have a good, what do I want? It's a nice way to say it. I use the bathroom really well. I can do number one, number two. Like, number two is like, I've met people who don't do number two at all. Like, not even when they would get their cycle. And I used to shake my head like, what? Because me, on average, this without medication, at least 5 times a day. And I say 5 because if I eat 3 times a day, and I don't always do that, but no matter what, whether I eat or not, I'm going like that many times. When I get up in the morning, I don't leave my house until I handle that. And it is not as soon as I open my eyes and I stand up like I gotta go. No. We're talking maybe 30 minutes later. So if I had to be at work at 8 o'clock, I would get up at 6. Because I know my body in its own time. I can't always call it. It's gonna have to go. And so I drank my water. So I'm already helping it going along, and showing enough, boom. And then I could go once or twice again before 12 o'clock. And then, of course, I go in the afternoon at least twice. And one before I go to bed. I mean, this is not an absolute. I'm just saying. And it's not terrible to talk about these things because you want to know how it's supposed to happen naturally. Naturally, when you eat within 30 minutes, you should be, going number 2. Everybody. Within at least 30 to 45 minutes, you should be doing number 2. If you're not, something wrong with you. There is something wrong. It is not normal to go once a day and eat all day. It's not normal. Okay? You know how often you're supposed to, do number 1. If you have a tremendous smell or your number 1 is like really, really yellow, golden or whatever, you has a problem. It should look almost the color of water. That's when you know you're doing something right. What illnesses are helped by eating this way? Like I said, everything. First of all, your colon is cleansed. A lot of illnesses come from the colon not being what it should be. And that's because the stuff that you consume by eating went through the whole process, and by the time it got to the colon, it was just a whole lot of discombobulation, if that makes sense. It's basically about what you eat. If you eat healthier, and what people call healthy is 9 times out of 10 not healthy. So people think that they shown up be eating healthy, and they don't be eating healthy at all. Unless you eating raw fruits and vegetables, you're not eating healthy. If you want to get to the bottom of it, in real sense of it, fruits and vegetables in its raw state is healthy eating. So none of us are eating healthy. The next step up from eating raw should be steamed. The next step up from eating steamed should be cooked. But do understand, when you start doing that, when you steam it and you cook it, you're taking the nutrients out that you was trying to get in. If you look at primates, you see how they eat? That's how we supposed to eat. Don't look fun, do it. They'll tear a green pepper up, carrots up, leaves and grass. It look like grass, but it's not really grass. They'll eat bark on a tree, and you know what? If our appendix was working, we probably could too. That's what it's for roughage. But yeah, they eat a lot of stuff. If you look at how primates eat, that is how human beings are supposed to eat. Some of your biggest mammals, now I ain't gonna say some, all of your biggest mammals on Earth are vegan. That ought to tell you something. So when somebody say, I want to get bigger, I want to get muscular, your biggest animals on Earth are vegans. You know an apex predator when you see them, and they're carnivores. We are not carnivores. So when you eat like that, your whole body's going to be optimum, working on the most optimum level, and everything is going to be where it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to be. Now, just because you're eating healthy, there is a such thing that you can be born with defects or problems. It ain't always got to do with what you're eating. So I'm gonna move on. Autoimmune disorders, what are they, and give examples. So I'm gonna go into autoimmune disorders. Hold on, let me see if I can shut up. Let me see. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm gonna go ahead and read some of it. Autoimmune disorder. An autoimmune disorder occurs when the body immune system attacks and destroys healthy body tissue by mistake. There are more than 80 There are more than 80 types of autoimmune disorders. They're not listed here, but you can Google those things and look it up. They say the causes. The blood cells in the body immune system help protect against harmful substances. Examples include bacteria, viruses, toxins, cancer cells, and blood and tissue from outside the body. These substances contain antigens. So y'all kind of know. You don't know what an antigen is? Look it up. It's what your body goes into war trying to protect you against this foreign object. They'll say it like that. The immune system produces antibodies. Your immune system will produce an antibody from an antigen. So if you had a flu, you could say the flu, the components of that flu was an antigen. Your body, your immune system created an antibody for it and beat it down, right? So then, but it that marker is now in your body. So the next time that a little piece of that particular antigen enters your body, you will already have a buildup of people to beat it down, antibodies to beat it down. Y'all can go look more in depth about how the body works in that way if you want. The immune system produces antibodies against these antigens that can enable it to destroy these harmful substances. When you have an autoimmune disorder, your immune system does not distinguish. That's the key word. It doesn't know how to distinguish between a healthy tissue and potentially harmful antigens. So it doesn't know that me touching this desk or this microphone, my body could think that's an antigen. We all see is a microphone. It's not going to do nothing to me, but that's not what my body thinks. It's confused. It cannot distinguish that this is a microphone and the flu virus is the other thing over there. It can't make that distinction. As a result, the body sets off reaction that destroys normal tissue. So just like cancer treatment, the reason why people be woozy and just sickly like is because when you kill a cell, unless you know how to specify or target a specific cell, you're going to target all cells. So what they use to give you to kill the cancer, remember, it's a cell. So therefore it kills good cells too. And that's why people get, like that. And they tell you to smoke marijuana. But that's why sometimes people just don't make it, because you killing both cells. There's no way to distinguish between the two or be specific. I think they can do it now, but that hasn't come out because, the money too good for people, for pharmaceutical companies and whatnot, and hospitals for people to just outright just cure cancer. The exact cause of autoimmune disorder is unknown. I think they do know. They can't say it without a shadow of a doubt is this. It could be a combination of things. That's what's not known. Like how many things make this happen. But they do know. Oh, trust me, they know. One theory is that some microorganisms, such as bacteria or viruses or drugs, may trigger changes that confuse the immune system. All of that can be true. But it's also food. It's also the food. This may happen more often in people who have genes that make them more prone to autoimmune disorders. So, Pete Gang, my kid has eczema, but not like me. I have it severely. Mine is so severe that it's debilitating. It's so severe that it's life-threatening. Now, I know some people got eczema, but is yours life-threatening? And I'm not saying, mine is tough. I wish I didn't have this problem. There's a lot of things I don't get to do or I miss out on life because I'm debilitated. I mean, it's just me down. Now, my daughter, she has it, but not like me. So when they say more prone to, meaning genetically you can pass from one person to another a predisposition to catch something, but it doesn't mean that you necessarily have it. Just like people who got sickle cell trait might have a child. Like one of the parents got sickle cell trait, the other don't. and the child comes out with it without it. Or one parent has the trait and the other don't, and the child comes out with it, with the trait. But it would take two parents with the trait to make the actual sickle cell anemia. And that sickle cell anemia person can have children that don't even have it just like them. But it's in them, it just not had manifest to them specifically, if that makes sense. So even though I know this lady who had sickle cell anemia, and God willing, she was blessed with three beautiful children. All her children are pretty much grown. I think her youngest is still a child, but the other two are grown, healthy. They don't have it. They don't have a trait. They don't have nothing. But it's in their genes. And when you create children, or when you procreate, it's random selection and independent assortment. So your genes are independently assorted, thrown all out, and randomly selected. You're not doing it. You don't have control. So that's why your son can look like grandpa or grandma, or your kids can look like a uncle or aunt. Because those genes are in you, and there's millions to choose from. So they're independently assorted and then randomly chosen. Like, that's why sometimes y'all did the Punnett square. We ain't gonna get into all that, but y'all know that can happen. So because I have it, I can always pass it on or whatever. That's my phone ringing. I meant to pick it up, but I'm gonna have to catch it when I sorry for the interruption. But I'm trying to get to the end, y'all. So an autoimmune disorder may result in the destruction of the body tissue, not just on the outside, but the inside too. Abnormal growth of an organ, that happened to me too. Changes in the organ function, same here. An autoimmune disorder may affect one or more organs or tissue types. Areas often affected in autoimmune disorders include blood vessels, because they carry the cells, right? Cells meaning blood. Connective tissue, endocrine, the creme de la creme right here for me. All of this stuff, all of this happened to me right there. Now, they gave you a list here of common autoimmune disorders. They got Addison. You can read up on either one. Celiac is usually that thing that affects Jews. No offense. I mean, that's just like sickle cell affects black. Dermatomyositis, Graves' disease, Hashimoto's. Y'all heard them talking about these two. Multiple sclerosis. Y'all know that's not a good one. And these things could be just plain old defects, or they could be something you did to yourself. Like certain people's bodies is gonna be cool with what you eating, or degrade in a slow rate, and some people's bodies like gonna degrade in a faster rate, and they're not playing. Like my body doesn't play. It doesn't care. It doesn't like that type of food, and it lets me know as soon as possible. And then, like I said, you can get to a point in your life where you have no choice. You have to change. Myasthenia gravis, pernicious anemia, reactive arthritis, rheumatoid, I got that. Sjögren's syndrome, systematic lupus. And so you will get a handful of autoimmune disorders. And sometimes they don't affect you till you get a certain age. Like my rheumatoid arthritis did not happen to me in my young life. It's happening now. But again, because I went most of my life, even my mom wasn't told, your child is born with autoimmune disorders. And she could have known that, because there was things that I dealt with as a brand new baby that tells me to this day now, looking back, yeah, I had it then. And why they don't have a test to just, let me test her blood and say, do she have autoimmune disorder? I don't know of a test out there like that, but I know that they could test you for Addison disease or celiac or Hashimoto's or multiple sclerosis. They could test you for those things. And when they come back, they'll talk about everything with multiple sclerosis, except the fact that it is an autoimmune disorder. So once you hear that word, autoimmune disorder, right there should set you on a pathway of changing your whole lifestyle and how you eat. Will you ever get rid of these things? No. That's a quick answer. No. But you can control it to the point that it doesn't affect you. And that is what finding the health in you is about. That's why I created it. That's why I talk about it. Because, I have autoimmune disorders and they were damn near about to kill me sometimes. Or, it's very debilitating. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is when they say, what are autoimmune disorders? So I told y'all what an autoimmune disorder is. Causes abnormally low activity or overactivity of immune system. That could be pros and cons when it comes to that, because I have that. Rheumatoid arthritis, I just told you I have that. I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have that. And this one right here is affecting the nerves, the dendrites, the axons, the myelin sheath. Something about the myelin sheath. And it's debilitating as hell. It could kill you. All of these things up here can kill you if untreated or, taken care of. And so, but the thing I wanted y'all to see is that autoimmune disorders can turn into a disease if not treated. And that's what you don't want. So I hope I answered the questions that people wrote in or through the emails. They were saying, why do the thyroid need to be converted to T3? Simple answers so it can be used. Give an example of a non-expensive vegan meal. Potatoes. Don't put the sour cream and all that other good stuff on it. Potatoes, other vegetables like onions, peppers, sliced up, and I ain't talking about hot peppers. I'm talking about like green peppers, orange, yellow, and all that, and red. Cook it with some olive oil. Remember that the olive oil burns faster and heats up faster. So it's not like regular oil. And you don't need a lot of olive oil. You don't need a lot. It is an acquired taste. But, if, when you're going on this journey, you don't have to be all the way hardcore. I gave y'all the slow walk part of the journey. Anybody who want to go hardcore, I can be reached through my email at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. You can email me through there. The phone lines were open. You could chime in or whatever. You can email me if you got a problem. I do specific recipes for people who suffer from autoimmune disorders. A lot of y'all are walking around with it and don't even know you have it. And I, that's why when you email me, I'm gonna ask you basic questions. I'm gonna what's the problem? Or take a week and tell me how you normally eat. That's first things I'm gonna say. So if y'all want to jump ahead of the game, have those answers ready. I'm like, what is your major issues health-wise? And you're going to tell me a lot of stuff that are symptoms. But I'm like, what is your major health issue? I'll know it when I hear it. And then I'm going to say, tell me how you normally eat. And, don't lie. Just say how you normally eat. Because I can't help you unless, you be straight up, And then based on that information, I'm going to prepare a whole routine for you to follow for about a month. And then we're going to go into phase 2, and then we're going to go into phase 3, and I'll tell you more about it. It does cost something because I sit down and specifically tailor make your routine or your basically your recipes for you to cater to exactly what you need. And my journey has nothing to do with exercising at all. But be aware, or be sure to know that you will drop a lot of damn weight. That's just a byproduct. So some of you might call me and say, can you come up with a recipe so that I can lose weight? I will not. I will be like, what issues do you have? I will address those issues. And I know it sounds crazy. Like, well, shit, that's what I want to, hit you up for. I'm telling you, no matter what we do, you're going to lose weight. So I don't have to address your weight. I don't have to address it. And some people be like, well, Miss T, because I'm not small, y'all. I'm not small. I know I look, like a decent size, but I'm not small. And I never will. The damage is done to me. I'm trying to help y'all out because y'all don't have to be like me. I don't have my thyroid gland. I haven't had it for years. And I never will get it back. I don't make metabolism. I don't, the metabolism that I do get is on such a small scale level. Y'all are so much ahead of me. So this shit helps me. So I know if it helps me, it's triply or doubly gonna help you guys. So if you come to me for the weight loss, I'm here for you. But I won't approach it like you think. There is no exercise with if somebody's coming here strictly for weight loss, and like I said, it's rare. I've never met somebody that overate their way into weight. I in my lifetime, I've never met, and I don't think half of you have either. The people on my 600-pound life, yeah, you know what their biggest issue? They are malnutritious, and they're starving. That's their problem. I'll say that you won't believe me, and this is when I'll be like, okay, keep on living. Unless you're in that predicament, you wouldn't know. People on my 600-pound life are starving. But y'all wouldn't take my word for it. But it's factual what I'm saying. And in that case, somebody be like, this girl, I'm not listening to her. She don't know what she's talking about. But I do know what I'm talking about. I had to learn these inconvenient facts in order to help myself. So if you out there and you do want to lose weight, you're going to have to tell me what is your issues. Like I said, if you're a person that overeat, we'll address that. We know why you're overeating, because you're starving. That's why you're overeating. So I just gave you the hint right there. You're overeating because you're starving. When you stop starving yourself, you won't overeat. I know that sounds crazy, but trust me, I'll come up with a recipe for you too. But most people, y'all have some kind of problem medically. And I ain't a doctor, but I will address that, through creating recipes. And when I fix that issue, everything else is going to be like a domino effect. So I don't have to sit here and address the weight issue. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. Because it's going to get addressed automatically. So if y'all need help with those things, like creating specific recipes for yourself, hit me up in the email. Some of you guys have. I did not broadcast to Facebook. I know a lot of y'all look at me through Facebook. I purposely didn't do it because I was going to show those videos. When I don't show videos, I will broadcast through Facebook. When I show videos or play any songs, I don't, because I'm tired of Facebook and their mess. As always, you guys could call in. For those of you who actually hit me up in the email and pay the little fee for me to create a recipe specifically for you, you are always welcome to give me your testimony or anything, but or not. It's your business. I keep it to myself. It's your story to tell, as I always say. But I would love for it to get to a point where people, and that's just a goal or hope for on my part. You don't have to, but that don't mean that I still don't want that to happen. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you understood what I was saying. I hope I answered the questions. Again, I might look at my email and see these same questions, and I'm gonna get an answer. I'm gonna get the same answer. There's no wrong way to ask a question. You can ask it this a million times. But again, for people out there, most of y'all suffer from starvation. And it's crazy. It's crazy to say it, but most of America suffer from starvation. And I know y'all don't believe me. And I just be like, keep on living. Keep on living. But I'll tell you, but whether you believe me or not, is we don't have to go back and forth with it. Because whenever I say that, oh my God, that if anything could start a debate, oh my God, that is one of them. when I say most of y'all Americans are starving. Y'all starving yourself to death. And automatically a debate start. I'd be like, oh my God. And then they'll say something. They think they said something to me. And they be like, she got quiet. And then I just moved on to another subject. And people think because I respond to shit like that, that I be like, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. I be like, yeah, dude. Michael Fuller is in the building. What's Papa King? What football game you watching? Not really. Not really have I stopped smoking. Not really. I don't smoke as much. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. So what game you watching? You say, I hope so. Sincerely, I do. Me too. I mean, I came a long way. I do too. It's a filthy habit. What game you watching? Because I know it's some football still on, right? The Patriots, okay. Was they always your team? Don't that dude that used to quarterback for the Patriots? He in there with Tampa Bay. You still? I mean, did you like the Bills versus the Bills? Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills? I think. You know, I used to watch football a long time ago, but kind of fell off. Thanks for coming in, though. This is a little show. I ain't had too many people in today. That's okay, but I was answering questions through emails and stuff where people had asked me or whatever, and I said the biggest problem with Americans is they starving themselves, and that is a big ass debate. But what I do, Michael, I have a tendency of I don't get in no debates with nobody. I ain't trying to hear all that. In my head, when I get to a point in a conversation where I be like, you'll see, or keep on living, I'm done talking. But people take that as weakness and be like, oh, they told you, or I'm like, no. I just know sometimes you cannot convince people of anything once their mind is set and made up. There's nothing you can really say. I'm only watching them because I am a Kansas City fan. They are AFC rivals. Oh, you talking about like East and West. Tom Brady is a good quarterback, but I'm not a fan. You know, I met him one time at the Pacquiao, what was it? The Pacquiao Floyd fight in 2015. I was standing right beside him. Just right beside him. And, you know, some people was all, you know, jocking him and shit. I was like, what's up? Yeah. I knew he was a celebrity, but I ain't give a fuck. He was a handsome guy, but, you know. And then I didn't know too much about the Patriots. And so I knew that I kept hearing people say, that's Tom Brady. He said, I agree with that. We are starving, not based on quantity of food, but on quality of food and nutrition. Indeed. Do you know that that's a debate with me? That's one of my many debates. You know, because I see things the way I see things. And it's like, you know, like, again, I don't mind sharing information. I'm not one of the people that hold it to myself. But if people don't want to see what they want to see, I mean, if they don't want to see it, they're not going to see it. And I'm not going to argue that or try to beat that down in somebody's head. If you don't want to see it, you don't want to see it. But just like I had to grow to see some certain things, I know that people will too. And, you know, that's all I say is, we'll see. Or my favorite thing to say in my head is, keep on living. That's my thing to say. But Michael, I've been cooking for about an hour and 45 minutes. I ain't want to be too long, especially on a football day. But I just came through and answered some questions. They can always go back and look at it in rerun. Wink, wink. So I'm just like, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. But I thank you for coming in. I haven't been doing the Friday shows. I won't be doing the Friday show. He said, I think you can eat until you are full. Just eat fruits. Exactly, Mundo. But that's hard. You're teaching an old dog a new trick, huh? What did you cook today? Well, I actually cooked yesterday. And I cooked because my kids asked me to. And I nibbled. I cheated. If you want to call it cheating, I cheated because I nibbled. I made meatloaf. I made mashed potatoes. I made green beans. And I made like a streusel type bread. And they ate and they loved it. I know how to cook. But on an everyday basis, I don't eat like that. I don't eat like that. I damn sure give up dairy, but that's that bread that I made. That's got dairy products in it. You know what I'm saying? Can I get down? Good Lord. Yeah, I can. Now, I got people in my family that's way better than me. Like my mother. But I can throw down. I'll make you be doing that. I'll make you unbutton the top of your pants and be like, oh, I can't take it no more. Most definitely. And it's crazy how I learned how to cook. My mom used to try to teach me how to cook as a kid, and I didn't want to because I felt like the social, and I'm going to use Destiny Black. Shout out to her. I love her wording. The social construct that we all grew up in was women got to be in the kitchen clicking the pots together, right? I didn't want to hear that shit. I had other things I wanted to do, and that's all you want to show me. But you never, if they was to show me equal things, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, I learned how to cook over here, and I learned how to do this over there. But it was always, let me cater you to learning how to serve a man. And I know men gonna be like, well, oh, you one of them bitter women. I'm not bitter. I don't think I was born here to serve nobody. I just don't think I was. Ain't nothing against no man. I just don't think that was the purpose in life for me. I don't think that that's particularly nobody's purpose. If I was here born to serve a man, then black men, and I get this from black men. I don't get this from white men. I'm sorry, y'all. Black men say this. But if I was born here to serve a man, guess what? Then we could turn around and say, black men, you were born here to serve white men. And the same way you wouldn't like that or don't understand the logic in that, it's the same way women don't like when y'all say it. But as I say, I'm not here to start no issues or no drama. I can only tell you experience. Only people who say that nut shit is black men. They're the only people that I hear that from. I don't get mad. In your house, you have a right to be the king who you are and all that you survey in your house, in your bubble. I don't doubt that. If I had a king up in here, they had that kind of, but I ain't no kings up here. It's a queen. I'm running this. So in my bubble, I cannot, I would do anything that don't require me to take a step back into the 50s and be inferior to anybody. Outside of that, I'm open-minded to anything. I fix back turkey breasts, seasoned perfectly, collard greens, seasoned to perfection, dressing, and green beans. I love green beans. I love turkey too. Baked turkey breast. Yes. I had the wings. A woman that can cook better learn how, in my opinion, if you want to hang with me. You know what? You know what I'm looking for? A man who can fold clothes. I'm not that particular. Like, if you can fold clothes and cook, see, I cook and I clean. Don't have a problem. I don't like to fold no goddamn clothes. But if you can fold clothes, but you got to be able to do the same thing I'm going to do. You know, like when I go to I don't know about everybody else. I don't cook in no dirty kitchen. I can't cook in no dirty kitchen. I can't get the meal off right. And as I'm cooking, I'm cleaning. Um, I try to perfect cooking where everything is nice and warm and hot or whatever to the temperature it needs to be as soon as everything done. So I will start with my entree first, and just as it's about to get done, whatever's gonna take the longest will be the next thing I cook. And I go all the way down to to whatever takes the shortest amount of time to cook. And I could time that shit like everything coming off out the oven, off the stove at the same time. I don't know how I do it, but I could do that. I done got good at that. It's not about inferiority. Cooking for a family is a powerful position. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. I scarfed at it because in my day, that's all they wanted to push. I'm not here for that. That's how I felt. But once when I became a mother, especially when I bought my daughter this kitchenaire set. You know how you buy the little girl's kitchenaire set, and this particular one she had was a nice one, and it made sounds and everything like dun, 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 dun. And she would and then just make the sound of bubbling water, or boiling. I said boiling water, or popcorn cooking in the microwave, and just certain sounds that is typical with cooking certain foods. But it came with a whole Thanksgiving dinner. And this honey, and she was a little girl, she kept trying to stick the turkey into the microwave. So I was like, I wonder why she do that. So I complained to my mom. I said, Mom, she keeps trying to put the turkey part in the microwave. And my mama looked at her and said, monkey see, monkey do. I got offended. I was like, what? I don't cook everything in the microwave. I don't even buy. I'm one of them people who are not subscribed 100% to the microwave. I don't log that many hours in microwave food. I don't fuck with shit like that. No. If I warm my food up, do I use the microwave every blue moon? But I would rather warm it up through the oven. But, now that I know it raise your electric bill. But I'm one of the ones that put your oven on 200 and then want to stick your plate in there to warm it up. But I bought me a toaster oven so I can do that. So I ain't even into no damn microwave like that. He said when you cook someone's meal, you hold the key to both their life and death in your hands. I try to be good. You can cook to produce life or cook to produce death. I don't even be on that tip with no cooking to produce death. Lynn Ray is in the building. He said, all hail the queen. Miss T, YouTube didn't send me notification. Watch playback. Salute. Indeed. I was trying to keep it a short thing because we got football, right? I don't look at football, y'all, but I respect the fact that y'all do. So I try to keep it short. The road, there you go, Michael. There you go. The role of men and women are the same as the roles of different organs or parts of the body. Every different part or organ serves a particular purpose. I thought you were going to say something. I just saw the role of men and women. Queen T, I'm literally waking up to use the bathroom 3 times a night. Water game is stepping up. Exactamundo. Y'all look. I turned the lights on, but I was really going by sunlight, I'm going to actually turn these lights off. It does do something for your skin. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm turning the light back on. Y'all ain't see much of a difference, right? I'm using sunlight. I ain't even using my light in my house. I'm using sun because my whole setup is right here by the window. Let's see, Queen T. Okay. Michael said the liver cleanses the bloodstream and the heart pumps it. If the heart or liver tries to do a different job, the body dies. The liver actually, how do I say this? The liver is a filtering system, and it has 2 jobs. It's there to convert T4 to T3, and is there to filter the food that you ate. That's pretty much it. It may do other jobs, but those 2 are the big jobs. Which one is a priority? I don't know. A doctor could come back and say, converting T4 to T3 is a priority. But I will tell you what the liver will almost always do first is filter. So the longer the liver is filtering, the longer it is not metabolizing. And metabolism has to get into the bloodstream. And that's, I think that's the connection you make in what you said, cleanses the bloodstream. The metabolism has to get into the bloodstream, but it cannot get there unless the liver convert the T4 to T3. So you eat meat, and meat takes days to totally digest, right? If you want to let your liver spend 18 or 20 hours of the 24-hour day filtering, then you can go right ahead, and it barely spend any time metabolism. Those are people who are going to gain weight. Those are people you're going to see gain weight. And then you're gonna throw a balance. You're gonna throw everything into a like off balance or something. That's when you're gonna see your reverse T3 rise and all that stuff. Limray says she glowing. It's her game. Hey, it's the water. Y'all look, for real. I'm happy. Y'all noticed, because for a while there I had the dark circles under my eyes, and it's probably still there. You know, good lighting is king. You know what I'm saying? Good lighting is the bomb diggity. I'm going off of the light. I just got my shades open, and so that's the light. Or I do have a light over me, but I don't even use that. I got tripod lights right here in front of me. I do have a skin disorder. Just luckily, knock on wood, it's never really been in my face, but from like it do, but not like how my hand could be. Y'all see my hand, and I put medicine on it all the time, but my skin can get like that, and all over, to be honest. But I be drinking water. The dark circles got a lot to do with like capillaries under the skin, little teeny blood vessels under the skin where the blood is not free flowing. So what you want to do, drink water. And then Michael said, when I say cook to produce death, you can do that by constantly cooking fried fat, saturated greasy meals, void fruits and vegetable means death. Yep, I agree. I thought you were talking about actually like setting somebody up for the kill. You can do that too. I don't get down like that at all. My point in saying the roles of the heart and the liver is to say that they have different parts. Neither is superior to the other, because the body needs both to live. In true indeed. So a woman's role is just important as the man role, even though the roles are not the same. That's all. Now, I would take that, Michael. That's a great way to say it. And Michael, believe it or not, because we was talking about this on another show, in the sense the roles of women. I will say this. I will think, but I'll speak for myself though, but I will think that most women don't mind being submissive to a certain degree. Meaning, but women are not going to follow an idiot. And a lot of times men come with idiotic things. Now, idiocy is not something that you born with. It's something you're choosing to do. Like dumb is not something you're born with. You're choosing to be dumb. Just like you chose to be dumb, you can choose to be not dumb or idiotic. And so I would never follow an idiot. It doesn't matter to me what their sexual organ is or what they think their role is supposed to be. If you're an idiot, I'm not following you. Period. There is no us like that. Now, I don't discriminate against idiots. Like some people, because I have been an idiot on certain things and this, that, and the other. That's why I always say, y'all, this is the method to my madness. When you know better, you do better. Where y'all think that come from? Because when you don't know better, you do and say idiotic shit. So it's not like I wouldn't hang with an idiot or I'd be like, oh, like we can't be friends. But you cannot lead me and you're an idiot. Men can be so suave and debonair and so smart and such leaders. Women can too now. But if y'all talking about women roles and men roles, a man can have that disposition about him that I'm telling you real talk, and I ain't think I would be this way. Anybody who know me from when I was younger would be like, did she just say, because I was never like this, but I will submit me. And everybody who know me know I'm not like this, but I will, because you have to make me feel safe and secure. This kind of a healthy talk, or that we're doing right now, in line with finding the health in you, because it's about mental, right? I have known men in my life that make me not even want to question anything they say or do. So if they tell me to go do this, whereas some guy could tell me to do something, I look at it like, you just trying to boss me around, you just trying to dominate me and rule over me. I don't want another daddy. I got my daddy. That's what I be saying in my head. So now I'm scarfing at you, and I'm like, nigga, get out my face. But then there's guys that lead so well that you feel compelled to listen to. And those are usually, y'all want the hint? Y'all want the hint? Because when I tell you, I'm that person that bowing down and submitting to anything like it, there will never be. Like, that's not me. But I can be submissive when a man makes you feel safe and secure. When you take care of that for me mentally, and it's not your list, it's my damn list. I hear a lot of guys say, what more do you want me to do? I pay the bills, I do this, I do that. She just tripping. Sometimes that shit is a lie. Because I hear a lot of guys be like, oh, I paid the bills and I paid the mortgage and the rent. No, you didn't. Because then when you get into the weeds and then you talk to the girl, she be like, I paid the motherfucking rent. The fuck is he talking about? He paid $200, I paid $1,000. Sometimes it be like that, y'all. But that ain't her list. It's a list. It's a list that's common to you and her, maybe, but that's not her list. I think that's where the problem falls right there, because a lot of guys think that they can make up the list too. You can't make up the list. What makes me feel safe and secure, you have to ask me. And if you're not asking me or paying attention to the signs that I show you, then you don't know my list. So Michael Fuller said, so a woman's role is just as important as a man's role, even though the roles are not the same. Then Lynn Ray said, I have a skin anomaly as well. What Michael had, vitiligo. That's okay. I have eczema, skin disorders. It's tough. It's tough dealing with a skin disorder, right? It's tough because people are judging you. I went through years of having insecurities over this. And then you get to a point where you're like, I don't even give a care. But I'm going to tell you, water clear that. I don't know about vitiligo. That's just something a little bit more deep. But if it is environmental or controlled by you, it don't hurt to try to change certain things with water. Freddie Kate is in the building. What's poppin', King? He said, your dreams online. Your dreams online. Clarify, sir. Your dreams online. Lynn Ray said, I text, I guess, my vitiligo with ultraviolet TX. Or you treat. Yes, ultraviolet via, what they call it, UVA, and what's the other light? There's two different lights. UVB? I know I used to do that. It's called light box treatment. I used to do that. And let me tell y'all something. You want to get scars off your body? Ask your doctor. Can you get the light box treatment? They ain't going to be willing to just give it out free nilly-willy. But that is an actual thing. People with skin disorders get to get that. And it will take, when I tell you, stubborn scars, take it right off you. Michael Fuller said, I agree. If a man cannot lead or add to his woman in some critical way, he cannot lead her. But a lot of times guys get caught up on the dominating point. I'm the dominant one. Listen, we rather for y'all to drive. Some guys be like, I drive the car. Nigga, by all means, drive us. Just don't be an idiot. Don't be driving like the idiot. And I'm be like, nah, nigga, get out of the way. I got to drive. Or you can't drive my car. But if you can drive and you drive safely, I was zip my lip, sit right in the passenger side. I provide for the mortgage and the rent. Yeah. Oh, zip. Yes, honey. Can you make me $1 million? It's the least I can do. It's the least I can do. You paying the mortgage, you paying the rent every month. It's the least I can do. Now, when I want to get up and go do something, you think you about to tell me something to do like you my daddy? Nigga, we has a problem. We has a problem because I'm a grown-ass woman and I know right from wrong. And if I want to go do something, I'm going to do it. And I ain't going to ask to spend your money. And that's another thing. I don't mix up monies. No, my money and your money can't play together. I don't mind sharing, but I share the way I want to share. My money and your money can't play together. You don't run my shit. Yes, I don't treat anyone beneath me or as if I'm superior to them, but prefer the company that I can derive and learn things from. Exactly, Lynn Ray. Interesting insight, Queen T. Yes, at once I was subconscious embarrassed about my vitiligo, but now fuck them. That's how I say. Fuck them, Lynn Ray. Fuck them. I'm just, I have to, because as a woman, we have advantages. You know what I'm saying? As a woman, we have advantages. Ain't no man gonna not give you no loving because you got eczema. Especially if they know what it is. Now, some people who don't know what it is can be really terrified of it and be like, ugh. Think you got the heebie-jeebies. But people, people typically have people in their family with those kind of skin disorders. They know. And so ain't no man gonna not give you no loving because, and I'm talking from a female point of view, guys. I know you guys are all guys, so reverse that. Ain't no woman gonna not give you loving because you got vitiligo or some kind of skin disorder. So yeah, once you learn that, you be like, okay, fuck you. And then when you start, people who are judgmental, they need to turn around and look at their own flaws. That's how I am with it now. Like, you go through phases in life. I guess that's what I'm saying. I went through the embarrassing phase, being teased all the time. I couldn't control it. It used to be on my stomach. And everywhere where it count. And sometimes I'll be like, damn, I never got to do this. Like, I can tell you one thing I never got to do. I wouldn't do it now because the sister got some LBSs I need to get off of me. But when I was younger, like everybody else young, I wanted to wear a 2-piece bikini. Shit. Never learned. Never, I ain't gonna say never learned. I know how to do it. Just never really got the opportunity because I had eczema that bad. It would be all over my stomach. I didn't have time for somebody looking and laughing and all that stuff. Now I gotta put my head down. I don't even have the confidence to talk to a guy and all that because I already know he don't like me. So now when you insecure as a woman, you take anything, you do anything, you let anybody say and do whatever to you, and it's not good. I don't know about men, but it's really not good for a woman to be insecure. Then they say, no, I just have a tanning membership, but cover my face. I know Caucasians, middle-aged women who's tan for years. It has the skin around their eyes age severely. That's why you should go to a dermatologist. That's more controlled. They got settings. It's more controlled. And when I would get in there, I think the highest I ever worked up to was a couple of minutes in there. When you first get in there, it was like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. So if you're doing it longer than that, like, yeah, you're going to have them kind of issues and all that. Black people do sunburn, by the way. I learned that inconvenient fact in 2009. Never knew that before. until 2009 when I got severely sunburned. He said, "You wild." Unfortunately, most women I've been involved with wanted a man with the bag. See, I never, I'm trying to be as honest as I can. You don't want no broke person either. But that's not make or break. It's the man heart. It's his character. See, again, I go back to what I need because I know how to make money. I know how to go to work. I know how to do that. So, and y'all gotta understand, women get served. I don't care what the woman look like. I don't care what y'all say. Unless y'all got a coochie, you really can't dethrone me on this one. All women, no matter what they look like, get served on a platter some DICK. All women. You ain't gotta do nothing. If I wanted it right now, if I said, it's this time, and about 1 hour from now, I want to be legs up. It's happening. I'm telling you, it's that simple. It's that easy. I don't even gotta know who I'm talking about gonna come and do it. I just know it can happen. I can make a phone call. That easy. I realize that it's not like that for y'all. So certain things we don't be pressed with. We don't. This is why we think of other things. This and guys, I've heard some guys say it's almost like being tortured for y'all because y'all have to go through that. But it's like torture for us too, to have to always be like, what do you want? God damn. Like everything, we are constantly being served that, and you get conditioned. You get conditioned to it, and you learn to make your way. But it's funny to see little girls make that transition. Like even my daughter, when she got to that age where older men, even men my age, was looking at her, and she would like sink in the seat, and we was in the car, and she would try to hide. We'll show her innocence and little girlness. And I'll just have to talk with her. And I'm like, you got to get to a point where you don't care about that type shit. You got to almost desensitize yourself to it. And because we get served that on the regular, other things matters to us. So I don't know, is it an insecurity with men when you're talking about trying to dominate over a woman? Is that an insecurity or something? To be honest, I don't even know how we got off into this conversation, but I welcome it. I mean, but maybe I have a men panel to explain it better because we just need to understand logically. Like I said, if a man is addressing my needs, mine, not the consensus, mine, Miss T, and I was about to tell y'all my real name, but Miss T, is addressing my needs. Miss T is my real name. It's what people call me, but I have a government name. And then I have other nicknames. I got so many damn names. It's crazy. But when they're addressing my needs, then and my needs is to feel safe and secure. Period. So whatever amount of money you make, I don't want a grown ass son. I'm not in the business of keeping men that don't want to be kept. And I'm not in the business of growing a man. You should already be a man if me and you involved. Once, those are automatic turn-offs for me. You said, unfortunately, most women I've been involved with wanting men to have a bag. And then, have you been in a relationship with a Caucasian? Yes, indeed. I sure have. You mentioned something, but switch your train of thought. Bring me back on track, because that can happen. When you get older, that shit happen all the time. Something else pop in your mind. You be like, whoa, wait a minute. All women want that paper. Even if I say yes, that's true. But some women can want it and want to go get it themselves. Just all men want that paper. You see what I'm saying? But some men like to take it from people, and some men like to earn it. Same thing with women. My ladies always needed extra with the bills. Maybe that was the kind of woman I sought. Could be too. You know what? I'm not good with choosing either. Not at all. And I had to, when I got my divorce, I had to take time out and reflect and look at what I was doing, my part in the whole thing. Because, like most people, you'll be like, well, he did this or he did that. And then eventually I was like, girl, what you do? And I was like, well, shit, I ain't do nothing. But I did do stuff. And it was unbeknownst to me, like allowing people to do what they do. If I allow him to do it, then how am I blaming him? That's blame on me. Because I'm allowing. See how I'm talking about mental? I had to learn these things. This shit don't just come to you naturally. I had to learn that. Um, and then Lemery says, I disagree. A lot of women take pride in being financially independent. That's what I'm saying. We do want the bag, but we don't mind going to get it. That's what I'm saying. And that, I think one of y'all said, all women want the bag, but all men want the bag too. It's just there will be men and women respectfully, that will don't mind going to get the bag, and then there will be men and women respectfully that would love to just take it from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to work for it. You can find that on both sides. I don't mind working for mine. I got mine. I'm secure with mine. So I make mine. If I want to make more, I know how to go get it. There's nothing in my body or my DNA. Let me just say this. I'm going to say my DNA. Nothing in mine that said, I want some more money. So what man can I go ask? Never. My thoughts don't even run like that. I want some more money. I need to get a job. What can I do to go secure the bag? That's what I say. He said, I know 2 nicknames you may have. Dollface, Sunshine, with that skin of yours. Facts. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And especially anybody who's complimenting me for skin, because as I told you, I have the sun going down. I have a severe skin disorder. It's debilitating. That's how severe it is. It can be life-threatening. That's how severe my skin disorder is at times. I have to really be careful, especially like with insects. I don't even sit outside like I used to no more because I get bitten. I'm in the ER. And then those things could turn into some kind of infection, and then I'm fucked. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be real careful. So when you guys compliment me on my skin glowing, I'm gonna tell y'all it's the water. I'm seriously gonna tell you it's the water. I do, like, I have dark circles under my eyes. It's lightened up, but it's there. Um, Again, I'm relying on today, right now, I'm relying on my sunlight, just opening the window. But when I'm on the show, most of the time I have tripod lights because it's dark time over here when I do the show at night, Monday through Friday. You said, what happened with Zaddy? Was Zaddy? Was Zaddy's? I don't know what that is. What happened with Zaddy's? But yeah, so mentally, you just gotta get your mental health together. And by the way, when you eat good with raw fruits and vegetables, you have a better mental disposition too. You have this energy. I can't even explain it. You'll have to try it. Again, people, I don't want to put no illusion out there or disillusion y'all. Miss T is not the one that's going to be eating raw fruits and vegetables for the rest of her life. Oh, I'm going to have some days when I get my American on. Zaddy Caucasians. Oh, that's that's what that means? Real talk. Okay. I don't know. How can I say this one? I don't. Because Because you got to think about people, the other people that you're talking about. But it is my personal business, but like story time. So there's a guy who I judge every man to, or for years I used to. He know who he is. Let me give a hint. We the same age. He know who he is. And we was in the military. And he is white. He was good to me. He was good to Miss T, and he loved Miss T. He was good to me. So people ask me, how did you end up with him? Because a man is a man. A man is a man. And he wasn't in, this is just my opinion, because this is so long ago. Yeah, I ain't even going to say the age, but let's just say Rudy Poot. I was Rudy Poot. I ain't know a lot of shit. But let me just say this. He could appreciate me and who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I say that, it's hard to say because I really do not want no controversy, but it is what it is. I ain't got to apologize for my hair texture. And I have a nice grain. I have decent grain. But I'm a black woman. I ain't got to apologize for these black women lips. And that's what you get when you with white men. And I know y'all are all men. Y'all not women. But I'm just saying from a woman point of view, that's what you get when you deal with white men. You don't have to apologize for your uniqueness as a black woman. Some black men don't like that. It's the truth. It's no other way. And that's a nice way for me to say it. It's the truth. But while y'all not appreciating that, as you see, Mr. Lynn Ray, he in the building, he's appreciative of it. Lynn Ray, you're not the only one. Even the white guys that people don't think would like black women, they do. They do. And the ones that actually really show me love, like, but it's reasonings why we didn't make it. And it wasn't the stupid shit that I have to deal with when I'm dating black guys. I hate to put it that way, but it is the truth. I'm being honest with you guys. I'm not male bashing anybody. But it just didn't work out like one guy was really rich, right? He was really rich. And his family approved as long as we was dating. And, I was young. I was doing me, I could do what I do. But if it turned into something serious, his father didn't approve. Now, why should your father have something to do with young adults and their decisions? I don't know. Mine didn't. I did what I wanted to do. But, I couldn't turn to him and say, like put the pressure on of him trying to pick me, because I truly loved him. And we, to this day, could have been an item. And I know, when I say I know, he loved him some Miss T. Back then they just called me TT, but he loved him some TT. But his father dangled that carrot, their money. And my thing was, I need to see who you were genuinely. What was you going to pick? But I also was we friends to this day. I also said to myself that if you pick the money, okay, I can't make, this what I mean by, I can't make you, nor would I try to be nothing but who you are. I accept you for who you are. And if you're not strong enough, because that could have been my dad saying that to me, and I'd have been like, whatever, I'm out. I'm with him. Wow, Queen T didn't realize the severity of your skin anomaly will put your name in my Bible. Oh, you good. I know now what it is and how to control it. They never told me before. It's just over the years it progressively got worse and worse and worse. I don't have it on my stomach. All them areas that I've had it growing up, I don't. I just have little spots here and there. They hurt. And sometimes I can get a breakout. And another thing that I get nowadays is I can go into hives. Like, I'm real leery of what I come in contact with and what I'm around. hives can damn near kill your ass. So I'm very just careful. You don't have to do an extra prayer, but thank you for the prayer if you do. Zaddies, white guys, OGs. But those were my white loves. Whatever. I had a few more of them, but those were the big ones. Fruit smoothies, vegetables steamed. Thanks for your service. Um, so yeah, thank you, Nimmer. I asked what happened. Slave masters like black women too. There you go, Michael. You taking it out of context. Look, I'll tell this to any black woman. If black men can't appreciate you or like you, then they're not the only men. Because this is what black men are saying to black women. If black women can't appreciate you or like you, or maybe how I said, maybe you just prefer something else, which I have no problem with, then women got to stop limiting themselves to just one race. A man is a man. And that's how you got to look at it. I don't give a rat's ass about a woman color. I'm attracted to her character. Yeah. A man is a man. She said he loved him some Miss T. He did. See, I call myself Miss T now, but they used to always call me TT. That's all, TT. I'm like Miss T. Oh, but you see, when I come on, I'll be like, or you can refer to me as Miss. I said you can refer to me as Miss T or TT. I think I say that. Oh, shit. I need to get back to saying that. But he did. He loved him some TT. And we were both way young. But like I said, even at that age, I'm talking early 20s, even at that age, I didn't let my daddy pick my man. If he was good to me and I liked him and he showed me the love I felt like I needed, then I was with it. But I can't say he did that same. Like his dad was dangling that carrot. I was cool as long as we were dating or he was hitting it or whatever you want to say. Oh, he giving his son a pound. Like, man, like giving his son props. But to take it further than that, he wasn't approving. And I don't know. I let his son pick what he picked. We still friends, like I said. And his son turned to, he got progressively worse socially. But then we met up again, and we discussed it, and he's fine now. I mean, when I met him again, this dude was doing shit he ain't never do. And I knew him, like smoking and drinking and, doing extra shit. And through that little bit of time we had when we met up again, which we was just friends, nothing popped off because we had both moved on with our life. But just as friends, I won't say that was my job to get him to stop, but I was like, you got to stop being unhappy. I'm good. You didn't hurt me. We still cool. A lot of women think because you reach certain feelings about a dude that they feel the same about you. If a man leaves you and uses money as an excuse, he didn't love you. Indeed. See, we build a, I like to call it, damn, me and my homeboy, we call it selling the silent dream. Because we'll meet a guy, see a guy, and, he'll, you guys do sell this dream, though. It's like the silent dream, meaning you didn't verbally say, I love you, I want you to be with me, we're going to build this, that, and the other. But you allude to it. You make innuendos as if that's what's going to happen. And she see what she wanted to see. And she built all this shit up in her head. And you guys know what she's thinking and what she's feeling and why she's feeling it, but you don't correct her. So it's both parties playing with people's feelings. In a sense, you're playing with your own feelings and you playing with his emotion by like building a script in your head that he never said. He playing with yours by throwing out innuendos and alluding to the fact, and then y'all doing stuff that should be meant for people who are more serious, I guess, or mean something to somebody, and then somebody's gonna get hurt, and it's not a joke. It's not a joke. You cannot play with people's feelings, and that's not a joke. That's not funny. You know. Michael say, men realize we can always get that money. Not from me. Now that's some shit I never did. I gave my husband some money, and even then was cautious because he gave me his check. But I shared. We split up, whatever. But he let me run, whatever. And that wasn't because he trying to, saying, oh, when I say he let me run, meaning I was taking care of his business as well as mine. But I was better at it than he was, so that's why I did it. It had nothing to do with male and female roles. Great show, Queen T, and salute Mike in the chat. Have scheduled Aaron to run. Good evening. See you, Lynn. Thanks for popping in. But don't marry that. Trust me, he behind me. He on the island. Yeah, I'm done with him. But I had to look back, and he hurt me the most. But I had to look back. I'm talking about my ex-husband, and then figure out where did I go wrong, what was I doing wrong, and certainly I was doing a lot. So it's about mentality. I feel like if I was eating healthy during that time, then I probably would have made better choices, because when you don't eat healthy, you can tend to be lethargic and not clear in the mind of your thoughts and everything. So that's another bonus for finding a healthy you. So, because sometimes you won't even know who you really are. There was a lady who went vegan, and she had eyes probably they were probably slightly lighter. No, I wouldn't even say that. Her eyes, in my opinion, were brown. And she showed pictures, like, all her pictures, they wasn't close-up pictures, but they were like this. And you look at my eyes, you say, okay, you got brown. Some people even say, you got black eyes. I'm like, I don't know nobody with black eyes. I don't have black eyes. I have brown eyes. I have dark brown eyes. But anyway, this picture of the lady, she had brown eyes, a white lady. When she went straight vegan, when I tell you, it was the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen in my life. They were multicolored. I don't even know what kind of eyes they were, but they were the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen in my life. But I'm going to end it there, y'all, because otherwise we'll turn into a 3-hour show. I meant to do like an hour, maybe an hour 15, and just get through the questions. You guys can go back and look for you who popped in late. I'm not sure why the notification wasn't sent out. My channel is open and everything, but you can go back and look at it. Shout outs to everybody. Shout outs to the channels that I go to. I try to get proper sleep. Proper sleep is part of finding the health in you. Shout outs to Southern Tea and Destiny Black. I enjoyed myself the other day on y'all's show. And I'll be checking you guys out more. Y'all come on at a time where I can still go to sleep. And so, because if I don't sleep, I'm going to sleep all day, and I don't like that. I don't like sleeping the day away. That makes a non-productive day, and I call myself trying to be productive every day. But anywho, so it's at 2 hours, 34 minutes, wink. And so I'm like, I need to just go ahead and end it. And again, I come on every Sunday. Anybody watching? I come on every Sunday at 1:00 p.m. I try not to compete with football. That's why I say my show going to be like an hour, 15 minutes. Today I answered, just to recap, why do the thyroid need to be converted into T3? I also gave an example of an inexpensive vegan meal. And somebody asked what illness are helped by eating this way. And I basically say all, but we can go in depth. Maybe I'll re-answer those questions by going more in depth next week. And then I should show the video of thyroid gland hormones and how they work and what they do and this, that, and the other. So I'm just saying, I'll answer questions, or sometimes I'll have a topic, and in the future be on the standby for me to go more in depth about each disorder of autoimmune. Like, I'll just do enough or hit the big ticket items, because as y'all saw what I read today, it said it's like 80 and counting. I'm gonna tell you, and counting. So when you know better, you do better, and that's all you got to do. You just got to try to learn as much as you can and do better. Again, I'm not a person that's gonna go back and forth with somebody. The thing, once I get in the conversation, I say to myself, "You'll see," or keep on living. That's it. So don't take it as me saying, Miss T, abandon what she's saying. I'm not. And I'll repeat that come next week because I hope don't nobody be thinking that. I just, like I said, sometimes people just got to live or experience it themselves. So when you know better, you do better. Peace.